What's up, guys? Welcome back to the Miniverse. It's like 3 in the morning, so I thought I'd get up and do some crafting, turn the camera on. This is what I'm working on right now. This is it's going to be a deserted. I need a deserted island terrain, so it could be a desert or a beach or whatever. I just laid the grid out. I used my texture roller that I made previously, textured it up, and then I took it outside and I dropped a big rock on it a few times to give it some little breaks. Hope you can see on these little cracks. Anyway, I had the idea to, I want to make it look like sand, right? But I don't want to use actual sand because that'll look like gravel or big chunks of rock when you look at it at scale. So I'm going to try to do it all in one go, instead of doing the paint and Mod Podge and then the sand features and then paint that again. So I'm going to try, here's what I'm going to try. I got a bowl here. I'm going to try some baking soda, Mod Podge, joint compound, and then the paint. And I'm going to mix all that up, put it on there, see what it looks like. Since we're in the middle of a quarantine, I couldn't really find any good brown paints. At least not enough for this. So I got some orange and some purple. That's going to make a brown. Some kind of brown. I don't know. These are pretty bright colors, so we'll find out. I think I'll go ahead and mix those up first. It's going to take quite a bit. Maybe a little more orange than purple. And I use this big brush. Mix that up real good. These paints are kind of neon, so I'm not real sure what the brown's going to look like. It'll be bright, for sure. Alright, that's a little orangey. Let's try a little more purple. There we go. It's kind of a light brown. A little bit orange. I don't know. I think it'll work. Maybe I think I'll just darken it up a little bit. Put just a little bit of black in there. Black doesn't take much. Yep, not too much black. That's okay. That's okay. It's pretty dark, but I think see, it went real dark. But I think the joint compound and baking soda is going to lighten it back up a little bit, hopefully, maybe. So let's do all the wet ingredients first. Get some Mod Podge in there. Yeah, see, even just the Mod Podge lightened it up a little bit. So, got a decent color brown going. Mod Podge, and we'll throw some joint compound in there. Because this stuff leaves a texture when it dries, so that's one of the reasons I'm doing it. Let's just put a bunch in there. No idea if this is going to work or what it's going to look like, so go ahead and add the baking soda too, and this should give us the sandy granules that I'm looking for. Not sure if the joint compound will or not. It'll add something to it, right? I don't know, we'll see. Alright, that's actually looking pretty good. Looks like mud. Looks like I just made a whole big bowl of mud. So, get this stuff out of the way. See how it paints on there. It might be too thick. If I can't get it to paint on very good, I'll have to water it down a little. Alright, so it's nice and dry now. one of the things I did, I couldn't keep it from getting brush strokes, just because it's so thick. So one of the things I did was, that I didn't show, is I got the big brush and I just stippled all over it, just like that. All over to get the brush strokes out after I painted it. So it's a little darker than I wanted, but I think that's going to be okay. And the texture, I don't think you can see the texture really on there, but it feels really, it's just perfect, man. It's just what I wanted. So I'm going to keep painting. I'm going to do a couple of layers. I'm going to do a little lighter brown, like a yellowy brown, and then highlights. So since I don't really have a yellowy brown, I'm going to mix some of this yellow ochre with that neon purple stuff. It should make some kind of brown. Hopefully it's the right kind of brown. If not, I got some other colors I can put in there with it and try to get it closer to what I need. Alright, that's not too bad. I don't know if you can see it, but I think that looks like a sand color, like a desert island golden sand. I think it looks okay. Let's see. See what happens. And I'm just going to overbrush. I'm not going to paint. So overbrush, like it's like a heavy dry brush or whatever. So just got most of the paint out of the brush, and just gonna go over it. That's kind of how I do my stones too. There you go. It's not too bad. It's looking pretty good, I think. It's going to take a while though. Might go through more paint than I thought. I might have to mix some more up. But you can see kind of how I'm starting at it. I'm just going to go ahead and do that over the whole thing. You guys don't have to sit around for that. Alright, so I got all that painted up and it's nice and dry now, but it did not come out with the golden color that I was looking for. There are a lot of variations in there though, so I still think it looks pretty cool. So I think what I was going to do is I was just going to dry brush with this khaki color, but I think since I want it more golden colored, looking like golden sand like on a beach, I think I'm just going to use the yellow ochre and dry brush with that. We'll see what happens. So I'll go ahead and try that. My little zebra makeup brush. Just get a lot of paint in there and then take all of it out. Almost all of it. I'll leave a little bit. Alright, let's see. It's still pretty wet. There we go. Alright. I'll just start in the middle. Oh yeah, that's not too bad at all. Just we'll have to see what it looks like when it dries though. You guys can see that on there or not. I think I'll just let the camera run. Oh, see, that was way too much. It's okay. We'll try to blend it in. Alright, so while we time travel through the magic of dry brushing, I wanted to go ahead and give credit where it's due. Most of the techniques and the inspiration that I got for this terrain is came from Hall of Craft and his desert terrain video. He does a pretty cool one. I definitely changed it up a little bit and made it my own thing, but if you want to check his out, I'll leave a link down there in the description for you. Alright, so I think it's looking pretty good. I don't know how well the camera's going to pick it up. At some point it will, I guess. Yeah, I think it looks pretty good. I think I'm going to let that dry, and then I'm going to do one more layer of dry brushing on top of that. Maybe 2 layers of dry brushing on top of it. Different colors. We'll see. So we'll be back after this dries. Alright, so that yellow ochre is nice and dry now. And hopefully you can see what that looks like. I'll get some better shots at the end to make sure it looks good. I'm going to do another dry brush, a little lighter, of just this parchment color. It's just an off-white, and I'm going to do it just really light, just to really pop those highlights out. And my unicorn brush is still wet, so I got another makeup brush here. It's not as fancy, but I guess it'll do. And I'm just going to use the same technique, but not go over it as much. There we go. Start over here. Should just lighten things up just a little bit and highlight some of that sand a little better. It's probably not going to show up on the camera right now, but there we go. Yeah. I don't know if you can see that. You can tell up here in the corner where I started. It's definitely highlighting it a little more, lightening it up all around. And I think it's a step worth doing. So, alright, so it's nice and dry now, and you can see my dry brush skills aren't that great, but it did kind of create some more variations in there, so I'm really liking the way it looks. There's one last thing that I'm going to do, and I don't know if it's going to turn out very well. I'm going to take my big brush and I'm going to use this metallic. It's a gold metallic, and I'm going to just go really light, real light dry brush over the whole thing. But I'm going to use a lot of paint to make sure that there's a lot of paint, that a lot of the bristles in the brush have paint on them. But I figured that gold metallic would be pretty cool, give it some kind of glitter maybe, like when you look across this sandy beach, you can see there's like little pieces of quartz or whatever in the sand that glitter in the sun. Hopefully this gold will get us there. Give us a little bit of that at least. Just real light over it. I don't know if that's really going to do anything for us. If I hear my dog back there making noise, he wants to go out now, so I'll try to finish this up real quick. Alright, so I'm going to call that finished, and that's the final product. I think it looks pretty good. What I didn't show you was my scatter pieces. I just made some rocks, a little pillar, and I made them where they can go either way. Those rocks, and I made these rocks, and then a big long string of rocks, and then I made a little sand dunes. Gotta have sand dunes in the desert, right? And then I had a couple of palm trees that came in that package that I bought, so I made a little thing for them. So you can have the whole thing. And I'm going to I'll go ahead and leave some high quality stills and stuff with some minis at the end, and then I'll just leave the video with some shots of that. So thank you guys for watching, and if you haven't yet, don't forget to subscribe, and we'll see you next time.